Let's take a look at mobile app auth. So this isn't directly related to Fortify, but I figured I'd take a look at it anyways. So for authenticating non-browser apps like mobile apps or Electron desktop apps, we can make use of bearer tokens in Sanctum. So we create a login endpoint, and if the provided credentials are correct, Sanctum will return a token. You can then store that token on the client side and then make use of that token on any protected routes. So let's go ahead and take a look. So first thing we have to do is add a has API tokens trait, which is up here in the docs. So let's add this has API tokens on our user model. User, let's add it here. Okay. Make sure to import that. And now if we scroll back down, there should be an example login endpoint here, right here. So I'm going to grab all of this, and you can name the endpoint whatever you want. I'll just stick to Sanctum token. So this is validating the request with email password and a device name. And the device name is just a string for whatever device the user is using, as it says here. And then we are looking for the user here. And if their password is correct, then create a token for them and return it. So I'm going to add this route to our routes API right here. So there should be right here. Okay. And let's go ahead and import everything that we need. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it up here. And request is already there. So that should be fine. Okay. And now let's go ahead and create an endpoint, or not create an endpoint. Let's make use of this endpoint in our REST client. So it's /sanctum/token. So let me just grab this, make a new one. Let's call it mobile auth. It's a post request. Create, paste, /API/sanctum/token. Was it Sanctum token? Yep. Okay, and let's set the headers like we've been doing. And if you don't pass anything here, this should result in an unauthorized error. Sorry, I mean invalid error. So let's go ahead and pass in that data. So it's, what is it? Email, password, and device name. So let's add that. So I already have a user with this email. Password is password. And like I said, device name can be whatever you want. So let's just say mobile app. Okay, and if I did this correctly, this should result in a token. Sorry, device name, can't spell. I'm actually re-recording these videos because I had audio issues, so I'm pretty tired right now. Okay, so there it is. Let's grab this. So this would be stored somewhere in the client securely. And let's make a new request to a protected route. So it's API user, name doesn't matter. I'm going to make a request to this endpoint here, which is protected and just returns the user's information. So let's try that. Again, the endpoint is /API/user, and let's set the headers again. Okay, and if I don't add a token, this should be unauthorized, and it is, or unauthenticated. But if I set the correct authorization header token, so it should be authorization, and the value should be bearer, and then the token. So let me paste in the token. Okay, and if I did this correctly, this should result in this user's information. And I did not fill this in correctly. Should be authorization. Try again, and there it is. So yeah, definitely make use of Sanctum if you need mobile authentication with tokens.